Do you have an issue in which it seems no girl is interested in you? Does every one of your interactions with women end with you regretting later on? If it does, then there's two potential problems with you. The first is whether or not you are retaining your seed. The second is where your mental state is at. And honestly told, they are not hard to fix at all. However, it's very difficult to achieve a rigid mental frame without getting the first issue resolved. That brings us to seed retention. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and drop a like if you enjoy the video. Let's get back to it. When you are retaining, women will sense the confidence and masculinity you'll be exuding. Your eyes won't have a predatory gaze, but instead a very calm, cold view into oblivion that entrenches women. This occurs when you've tamed your carnal desires and brought yourself into the grips of your fist, deciding every move without ill intentions. When you pursue a woman during seed retention, she'll welcome your openness and even seek more of it. But if you had been fapping constantly beforehand, you'll send out major creep energy. Creep energy is at an all-time high nowadays. With the wide access to adult content, almost 90% of men do exude that energy. Their eyes are jittery when they make eye contact with women. They keep staring at her assets and keep creeping her out. They can't think of women in any light other than as pleasure toys. The thought of women as fully independent and respectable individuals they just can't fathom. All they can think about is the bed. Funnily enough, those men are mostly the ones who actually never get any action. Since they've made mating the biggest mission of their lives, constantly obsessing over it and placing it on a pedestal, they lose all their worth and specialty. Their intentions can be read easier than open book, but when you start the journey of seed retention, you're wiring your brain to think differently, and consequently, act differently. When you stop chasing the next nut and rid the importance you had given to women as objects, you actually become the epitome of a real man. A man addicted to FAP is only a shell of a man, with no self-respect or actual drive, constantly fueled by his emotions. Real men, the men who built society up and weren't the drunks in their bedroom, don't let emotions control their actions. They are stoic and keep pushing all the time. Sometimes they may have to recharge, but they won't sit around touching themselves. They get their dopamine release from the work they complete, the victories they attain, not the liquid they released. When we talk about why seed retention actually makes you more attractive, to be honest, it doesn't. What it actually does is make you not repellent. A man who and 39's constantly fapping and can't control himself will exude all his embarrassment in the form of visible energies. His walk will be sluggish, his eye contact will be non-existent, his faith in himself will be at a zero. When he has to speak up, his voice will quiver with nervousness. All this because he is ashamed of himself internally. All this is actually very noticeable by people around you, especially women, who can naturally read body language way better than men. A man who displays these qualities is the one women try their best to stay away from. They don't want to get stuck with somebody who'll be a source of embarrassment for them. That's the repellent energy of a fapper. On the other hand, a man who doesn't touch himself will be more of himself. He'll be driven towards his passion, he'll love himself for the man he is, and each interaction he has, he comes off as a bright, brilliant soul. Does seed retention make girls fly towards you like a powerful magnet? Of course not. I could lie to you and tell you seed retention will get every girl drooling over you, but that's not the truth, so I won't. What seed retention does do is make you reach the heights of your peak masculinity. It lets you display who you are as a person, unadulterated, unfazed by anything in the world. Some girls will obviously be indifferent to you, but they won't be repelled as they would if you were fapping. The girl who is actually right for you and clicks with your personality, she'll be able to find you and be with you. The best way to word it is, FAP puts a strong mist around you which drives people away. It doesn't give you a fighter's chance in this overpopulated world. You won't become Chris Hemsworth after seed retention, but you will become the truest and purest form of you. And honestly, we don't need another Chris Hemsworth. We already have him. What we need is you. You putting your best foot forward and representing yourself in the brightest light. You sharing with us a story that we haven't heard yet. Seed retention, or mostly, no FAP, puts you on the line to be you, unapologetically. It shouldn't be thought of as a challenge you're trying to win. It should be a lifestyle. It's not about reaching the 90 days mark just to fumble back to square one. It's to look back at it and be proud of yourself and the man you're on the journey of becoming. Whether you rise to the occasion or not, the world will keep progressing and never stop. This is the one chance of a life you have right now. Will you do yourself justice and grab it by the neck? Or will you sit in your shame and misery thinking it's already all over for you? That's a question each man must answer for himself. So, what'll be your answer? That and 39'll be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. If you have any points of discussion, drop them in the comments below. With that said, see you in the next one.